Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Rainbow.
And here we are again for part 2 of this month's Building Character Unit. We've been reading an article by a young lady who has been talking very openly and very honestly about her sense of humor.
She grew up in, I guess you would have to say, a very serious family.
Serious people.
Seems like she had normal parents who were great, but sure, they just weren't the funniest people around.
Ha ha, very funny.
So in the article from yesterday, she wrote that her parents didn't laugh too much and never told jokes.
That's very funny, what you just said. No, she didn't really have a lot of laughter growing up, and so she didn't really develop a good sense of humor until much later in her life, maybe when she went off to university or something like that. But eventually she met some people who became her good friends, and they were the ones who kind of, showed her how much fun it is to laugh, tell jokes, make funny faces, and things like that.
And this was just the beginning of her journey to find her own sense of humor. It's an interesting story, and so we'll be reading more about her experience in today's article. But first, let's check out all of today's new vocabulary right now. 今天的文章谈到不是每一种幽默都好笑，也不是每种幽默都一样哦。比方说取笑别人、消遣别人，这就不好笑了。我们先来看几个单字。第一个 rather 相当是个副词。I rather enjoyed this evening. I rather enjoyed this evening. 我相当喜欢今晚的时光。第二个单字 guide 引导是个动词。Great teachers can guide students to success. Great teachers can guide students to success. 很棒的老师能引导学生成功。第三个单字 ease 减轻缓和是个动词。What can I do to ease your pain? What can I do to ease your pain? 我能做什么让你减轻你的痛苦呢？最后一个单字 bother 是打扰，是烦恼，是个动词。I'm not bothered by him. I'm not bothered by him. 我不会被他打扰。OK， 我们现在看完了单字例句，一起来看课文吧。
Now I can usually get other people's jokes. I learned to tell a few myself. Some of them even got a few laughs. I rather enjoyed that feeling. Even though my friends guided me a lot, I'm still learning about humor. People use it to make themselves and others feel good. It also helps them connect with others and ease stress.
Explanation 1.
So we ended yesterday's article with the writer telling us about some of the funny things that she learned from her new friends. This was just the beginning, though, of her experience with the funnier things in life. Funny jokes, funny faces, funny voices, and things like that.
And today's article continues where we left off yesterday. So it says, now I can usually get other people's jokes. Okay, that's great. Yesterday, she also wrote that before, she sometimes didn't know when people were joking. They would say something, for example, and she didn't know if it was supposed to be funny or not.
Right, but now, not only is she better at getting or understanding other people's jokes, we also read, I learned to tell a few myself.
Oh, great.
Good for her. Yeah, she's learned a few jokes that she can tell at a party or, something like that. So she's making other people laugh. That's a big step for her.
Yeah, it is. And it shows that she's really developing her sense of humor. And about these jokes, well, some of them seem like they're pretty good. She writes, some of them even got a few laughs. Fantastic.
That sure is fantastic. And how does it feel for her to make others laugh? Well, she continues, I rather enjoyed that feeling. Yes, it can be a great feeling when you say something that makes other people laugh.
And just like learning any other skill, developing a good sense of humor is something that happens and grows slowly over time. As she writes next, even though my friends guided me a lot, I'm still learning about humor. Yeah, there's not just one way of being funny or enjoying comedy. It's like food or music, there's many different things that you might like. Everybody has their own style.
Yeah, everyone has their own style, their own taste, the things that they like. But the more types of comedy or food or music you try, the more you'll be able to experience and enjoy it all. So let's take a break right here because we need to head over to Daphne, who has our first grammar point of the day.
大家好，我是 Daphne。今天的第一则文法是 even though， 意思是即使、虽然，是连接词片语，用来连接两个子句，主词加动词。这两个子句的语义必须相反，或者是有转折。我们来看个例句 ：Cynthia went to work even though she was ill. Cynthia 虽然生病了，但还是去上班。
So the writer of our article was just saying that she is still learning about humor and comedy and things like that. At first, her friends taught her a lot, but now she is also learning things by herself.
As we read on, she shares some of the things that she has learned. She writes, people use it to make themselves and others feel good. Definitely, having a good laugh can help to cheer people up when they're sad, and it can even help to calm people down when they're nervous or worried.
Yeah, and she explains a bit more about this in the sentence that takes us up to the break in our article. She writes, it also helps them connect with others and ease stress.
没错，在这边加一个补充单词 stress 就是压力，而 ease stress 就是减轻压力的意思。Yes, and these connections can help us to make our relationships stronger and deeper. 没错，幽默感可以让彼此增加我们的感情，舒缓压力，也能使彼此的友情变得非常的稳固。Relationship 就是人际关系，人与人之间的关系的意思。
Yeah, humor is a great way to bring people closer together in lots of good ways.
Yes.
Okay, well, we have another grammar point to learn about from Daphne, and then we'll take our break.
第二则文法是 connect with somebody， 意思是和某人建立关系，产生情谊。Connect 是不及物动词，意思是建立交情。后方用介系词 with 与引出建立交情的对象。我们来看个例句 ：Callan always tries to connect with his colleagues. Callan 总是试着与同事建立交情。
So, yes, it looks like it's finally break time now, but we'll be back in just a moment.
However, not all humor is funny. It really bothers me when people make fun of others. I can tell that hurts their feelings, and that's nothing to joke about.
Explanation 2.
So the writer of our article is sharing some of her wisdom and experiences as she has been developing and learning about her own sense of humor. I guess you could say that she's been on kind of a journey to learn about what she thinks is funny, and she's also learned a lot about herself at the same time.
Right, so as we get back to the reading, we also learn about some of the things that she has discovered are not so funny. She continues by writing, however, not all humor is funny. Then she gives us an example. She says, it really bothers me when people make fun of others. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's terrible as well. Comedy where people get teased about something, or fall on their faces, that's very cruel.
Yeah, I agree. It might be funny for the person telling the joke or the person laughing, but it can definitely not be funny for the person being laughed at.
Yeah.
And the author has noticed this. As she writes in the final sentence of the article, I can tell that hurts their feelings, and that's nothing to joke about. No, it certainly isn't. It's not funny. Comedy is supposed to lift people's spirits and bring them together, not make them feel sad or embarrassed or feel like they're being teased or bullied.
No.
That's not comedy. Let's pause here for our final grammar point, and then we'll be back to say goodbye.
第三则文法是 That's nothing to 加动词加 about， 意思是没有什么事可以点点点，一点也不点点点。 That 是代名词，代指前文提到的事情。Nothing 是名词，意思是微不足道的人事物。后方用动词片语 to 加原形动词加 about 来修饰。我们来看个例句 ：No one got your joke. That's nothing to cry about. 没人听懂你的笑话，那没什么好哭的啊。
课文中提到，不是所有的幽默玩笑都是有趣的，也不是都是好笑的。玩笑应该是让彼此的关系变得更紧密，大家都非常欢乐。因此，像那些取笑别人或是霸凌别人的行为，真的是不好笑。补充一个单字 tease 取笑、嘲笑 ，bully 是霸凌。最后一个片语 lift one's spirits 可以用来表达提高某人的兴致，使某人快乐。
So there you go. A lot of good thoughts and interesting ideas about developing a sense of humor for a very intelligent and possibly quite funny young lady.
I agree. I think she shared some very interesting ideas about her experience, and she's also doing a great job in teaching herself about comedy.
Right. And I hope that she continues to learn and laugh through her whole life. Now we wish all of you guys a lot of smiles, laughs, and happy times. And we'll see you all back here sometime very soon. Until then, bye-bye.
Do you have a sense of humor?
Now I can usually get other people's jokes. I learned to tell a few myself. Some of them even got a few laughs. I rather enjoyed that feeling. Even though my friends guided me a lot, I'm still learning about humor. People use it to make themselves and others feel good. It also helps them connect with others and ease stress. However, not all humor is funny. It really bothers me when people make fun of others. I can tell that hurts their feelings, and that's nothing to joke about.
I'm thirsty. I'm going to buy a drink.
I'll get one too.
I've heard that this place's tea tastes really good. I want to try their iced guanine latte.
I'd prefer something warm.
Why don't you try their hot black tea latte?
Sounds great.
Oh, hey, didn't you say you like tapioca pearls? Why not get it with those?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll take a hot black tea latte with pearls then.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny， 我们又到1分钟的单元喽。那今天就是用1分钟的时间来复习4个单字，还会造4个例句。同学们，您都准备好没？好，1分钟计时，开始。第一个单字，它是当副词来表达相当怎么样、蛮怎么样、颇怎么样的，这个字叫做 rather。Rather, those shoes are rather cheap. 那些鞋子相当便宜，还蛮便宜的。好，第二个单字呢，它可以当动词来表达引导、指导或是指引，这个字叫做 guide。Let your dreams guide you. 让你的梦想指引你吧。好，第三个单字它是用来表达减轻、缓和，这个字叫做 ease。Ease， 它是个动词哦。She took a painkiller to ease her headache. 她吃了一颗止痛药来减缓头痛。那么第4个单字呢，它可以当动词来表达使什么困扰、使什么烦恼的意思，它叫做 bother。Bother， 你可以记住你的，就是可能兄弟很喜欢烦你，然后 brother 把那个 r 拿掉就变 bother 这个字。好，乱记的。好，不管怎么样 ，Teresa's back pain has been bothering her for months. Teresa 背痛的问题已经困扰她好几个月了。好，那不管怎么样，我们已经在1分钟之内复习完4个单字喽。同学们表现很棒哎，那我们下次见喽，拜拜。
See you next time.